Hit us up on Doc Rio TV.
Hello, and we're back for the third episode of this Doc Rio TV tutorial on Adobe Audition and how to actually edit the sound that we just recorded in the previous two, or imported in the previous two tutorials. So if you haven't seen tutorial 1 or tutorial 2, just go ahead and push the button on the right hand side right here. Or push the button on the left hand side if you really need to see tutorial 1. Tutorial 2, once again, is on the right hand side. Tutorial 1 is on the left hand side. So this will give you an opportunity to see the other tutorials here and start from the beginning and see where we're at. Because right now I'm going to step through some steps, and I will call out some key commands that we have already, I've already explained to in the other two tutorials. So with that said, let's jump right into this one. Right now we're at the part where we recorded a sound and we peaked. And I wanted to show you guys how to adjust a sound or how to fix a sound. Now, this sound particularly has a lot of different elements. I don't know if you can hear in the background right now. Actually, you won't be able to hear in the background because when I edit the sound, I take this out. And this is how I'm going to show you how to take it out. I have a fan playing in the background, and sometimes I have an air conditioner playing in the background. And a lot of people have a problem with getting sounds out, fixing peaked elements, mistakes, or anything else, adjusting audio or anything else, putting effects on top of a sound. And Adobe Audition is really suited to make it easy or user-friendly for those people out there. So don't be afraid of this program. Just jump right in. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to push the home button and go right back to the beginning right here. Let me make sure I'm clicked on the screen and press the home button. If you ever press the home button and you get a sound like that beep, or you ever not get put right back home, then what you just found out is that you could not, you weren't selected on the screen. You did not select the screen. Sorry. The next step we're going to do is another step I talked to you in the last episode. We're going to tighten up, or actually show the whole frame. So I want you to press the Alt button once again and scroll out. Alt and scroll down, actually, in my case. It might be different for the way you use scroll. So just double test it. It's easy to just scroll in and out, and you'll know exactly where you're going by pushing the Alt button and scroll. Once again, now, I'm seeing the whole piece right here. I'm able to see where I'm at, but I only want a certain area, because in this, I'm going to select an area, and as you see, it lit up. Now, in order to select this area, what I did is I put my cursor on the screen, and I just clicked down and I dragged. It selects an area. Now, as you see, there's also a couple of markers up here. The area that is selecting is what we call a loop area. And if you see, as I drag this out, what the loop area will do. Oops. Didn't change anything. So, home. Let's do that one more time. I'll go ahead and make a larger loop area, and you'll see what the loop area will do. We'll press the space bar for play. Okay, and once again, these buttons, the name, the stop and go, if you ever forget the command, space bar, play. Also space bar, stop. Also shift command space for pause. You probably won't ever do that. Or maybe you will, depending on what kind of piece you're working on. Loop, command L. Move CTI to previous, command L left arrow. Rewind, fast forward. Move CTI to next, command right arrow, and record, shift and space. So these key commands are all here for you. It's not that difficult to figure it out. You don't have to get into all the workspaces and to get in all the other areas. Just get into the basis of using it first. And then later on in the next tutorials or so, we'll get into the use of all the other workspaces. So let's get down to business here. Now, we're going to scroll in. We're going to, by mousing over the area we want to scroll in and pushing down the Alt button and scrolling until we get close enough. Now, I need to hear what exactly the first statement is here. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go home, and we're going to take just a little bit of this. I'm going to select this area. Why? Because I'm going to teach you guys something that helps you remove external sound. It's called noise reduction. And the first thing we do with that is you can find it in effects. You can scroll down, mouse up to the effects bar in the main menu bar. Scroll down to noise reduction and restoration, and you'll see the key commands are capture noise print and noise reduction process. All right. So I'm going to use capture noise print first by pushing Shift P. All right. And as you see, it gives me a warning that says the current audio selection will be captured and loaded as a noise print for use the next time the noise reduction effect is launched. Okay. So what that means is now that I've done that, it captured the print. And I'm going to launch that effect. If you go back up to effects and go to noise reduction and restoration, you'll see noise reduction process. That's actually launching the device. So I'm going to click right here and I'm going to use the key commands, Shift Command P, and it opens the noise reduction processing device. Now, in that sense, you have the ability in some to use other, I guess they are VSTs. I'll have to study and get back to you about that. But I know in my other device, I have a filter known as the Marco filter. If you see that filter is so much better. And if you use that filter, make sure you see this little checkbox right here that says output noise only. The Marco filter constantly starts with that output noise only checked. You have to make sure you uncheck it in order to hear what you want the actual sounds. Otherwise, it'll take the noise, which is probably a hum in the background or whatever, and just you'll only hear that flat line or whatever that noise was. So in this case, I opened it, but before I open this, I needed to do one thing. And this is a common mistake made by a lot of people. We leave the print where it was left at. So what I've done is I've built in a couple of steps to make sure that I don't leave the print only on the section of the noise and not taking out the print in the whole piece, because you don't want the background noise inside with the voice. And so the reason you take the print is to erase it from the whole section of sound. So in this case, you want to double click on the whole area. But still, if you look up here in the smaller timeline, it shows you a larger version of the timeline, you've only selected a small part. So double click again until you get all of it lit up across the top layer right here. Or you can just slide. And if you slide, you double click it all. Now, one of the steps I do is I go back to effects and I open up a diagnostic, a declicker. The reason why I open up a declicker is because it helps when you're recording sound, external sound. I'm not saying sound recorded from another sound source, but external sound coming out of a microphone. It helps to get out room noise and get out clicks. So I push the scan button on the declicker and it scans and it gives me a whole bunch of them. I believe I leave it at its default presets. Yes, I do, which is probably, just so you know, a light reduction or a medium reduction. It's probably a light reduction. And I repair all. This light reduction is just enough to get out a hum or any background noise. But you have to make sure you only capture in the noise print the background noise. Oh, excuse me. You don't have to worry about that in the noise print. You just have to go ahead. These devices are good enough to take out the light enough clicks. If they're heavy clicks, you have to move it up and down. So let's keep going here. I almost made a mistake there. I'm sorry, guys. But here we go. We're back in, and I also go to the declipper. And I scan for clips, because if I'm clipping audio, it's bad news. So I want to get the clipping repaired first before I actually repair the sound. And I'm probably clipping right here. As we see timelines 9, yes, I'm clipping right around here. So that's what these numbers tell you, where in the timeline you're actually clipping. So we're going to go ahead and hit repair all of them. And now I'm not clipping anymore. Now, also, back to the noise print. Now, that's why I said before you want to make sure you only capture the noise so that you don't take out any of the sound that you want in this piece. So with that being said, let me move closer here because I feel like I'm leaning in too far. With that being said, now that I have everything selected, I can go ahead and push that as we see in effects. Once again, noise reduction process. All right. As we see that, I can go ahead and push Shift Command P. And while I push Shift Command P, I'm in the noise reduction. I can play it and sample it by pushing space. Recording my voice. And I will do some wild things with my voice. Go back. And as you see, even when I go out, I don't hear the sound of the fan. As we just found right here, this has given me only enough time to get 10 minutes in, but I'm going to finish this tutorial on editing here. We might do effects in the next tutorial. So we're going to hit apply right here, and we've reduced the noise. Now, another thing you want to do is you're going to want to zoom in. So push Alt and use your scroll bar and zoom into that area you really peaked at. You're going to want to adjust the audio in this area. So you're going to only want to select that area that you really peaked in, and you're going to want to bring it down some. And in this case, I'm going to bring most of it down. Now, in selecting, you're going to want to get all the way in as close as possible, because you want these borders to be as close as possible to a splitting point on this line, as level as possible. Because the more level you get this line as you scroll in, or the closer to it, the less you're going to hear a sound that goes pop. You know. Now, in this case, I'm having a hard time, so I get as close as possible. In the back of it, and you know I'm using Alt and Scroll to go in and out here. That's why this is very important for you guys to know this. I'm going to take it back just a little bit to the dot that's already there, right on the line, in between the two dots. Now I'm going to scroll out again. And those dots actually just give you a timeline of I believe the tempo. I'll have to check that for you as well. I've never dug in deep to everything. It's still a new program for me. It's only a couple of years old, so I'm digging in just like everybody else. But I will definitely get the terminology you need. And as you see right here, there's a little amplitude control box. I believe it's called, tell me, adjust amplitude. Yes, an amplitude control box. And what that allows you to do is bring the sound down as much as you need to get it out of the peak zone. All right, now I might have brought it down too much, and if so, we will find out now. Oops. Loop out. Take the loop area. Let's scroll back out. Such a small area, so you got to really... And what I do to get rid of the loop area when I just don't want to drag and do all the crazy stuff, if you push the escape bar, it gets escape button, it gets rid of the loop area. So I can start from here and go crank up my volume here. And as you see, my timer's up. But even though my timer's up, we're going to continue this recording until we're done showing you what I'm doing with the voice. And as you saw, that's what I did in the last session. I brought the volume down. I didn't bring it down too much right now. And you can keep adjusting and using the volume meter until you get it just right for what you need. You can adjust all the volume that way. But in the next episode, I'm going to show you how to put effects on, like I did with the last voice we used right here that says, push button, baby. Effects like echo, compression, EQ, distortion, delay, chorus, things of that nature that you probably use on a regular basis in Adobe Audition. So this is tutorial number 3. Stay tuned for tutorial number 4, which is going to go through the effects and doing more things, especially exporting the file in 2 different ways, right here on Doc Rio TV. This is Doc Rio signing off. Push button, baby.
Doc Rio TV.